I just... Nope, fuck you. And that's how we're going to start the recording, right there. So,
So we're
to,
gaslighting Fuzzy, right?
yeah. To catch us all up to speed, um, the last couple of sessions, briefly. You guys got on a boat. You were going to skip about 2 weeks worth of your travel by boating your way up along the coast and hitting the southern tip of Northwich and then... Oh, God, excuse me. That came out of nowhere.
You're excused.
Thank you. Um, then marching north from the southern pass of Northwich to the Seven Sisters. You were taught some basic boating techniques, and then through trial, error, and heavy fire, you have all become proficient in water vehicles. As you were ambushed by three pirate ships that were manned by undead crews. To be specific, oh, that's right, that's interesting. That will be fun. I have to roll like a D10, like a D100 for this, just to find out where that motherfucker landed. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god.
So anyway, you were saying roll D100 and
I rolled a
giggling
99.
maniacally.
Yeah, I rolled a 99. So,
Sorry for the sneeze. I couldn't mute fast enough.
oh, actually, you did mute it in time. You're good.
Oh.
Bless you. So,
What
you
about the
guys
music?
sunk.
Oh, yeah.
You guys do music. 2 of the videos I recorded I can't post on YouTube because it's Pirates of the Caribbean music, which is super, super copyrighted, and it would just get rid of all the audio. So those 2 videos are dead, and the last one was corrupted. So this arc is gone. It will live on only in our memories.
Okay.
But so you sunk you sunk a pirate ship. You sunk a second pirate ship. You boarded a third. Upon boarding the third, again manned by undead, predominantly skelly crews, there you found a coffin and a couple of cages aboard one of the ships. On said ship, a live human being was in one of said coffins.
I thought it was an elf.
It was an elf. Sorry, humanoid, sentient, good guy. It was an elf. That is correct. His name's Galir. He's fat. He's emaciated and fat. It's confusing. Have you ever seen a fat elf before? You have now.
Talking about like what a concentration survivor would look like that skinny, look. When you say emaciated.
He not to that extent, but if someone would have been hungry for a few days, absolutely. Like they're starting to look sallow, sunken eyes. They're being fed, but just enough. Maybe. But, so Galir sat up and was like, asked about the children, which there were no children on this boat, which then brought stark realization to the crew that, oh, we sunk elf kids on 1 or 2 of the boats that we just sank, which then kicked into immediate search and rescue mode. Titus
That's
got...
what we were supposed to be doing?
Yep. So, Titus got yeeted on a nat 20 by Helmac in his giant form towards the other boat, who immediately wild-shaped into a dolphin. He then swam to the bottom of the boat. No children, just a coffin. He then hugged the barrels of gunpowder and misty stepped away. On an incredible roll, he survived, with like 4 health left, after a massive explosion and a ride into probably the lower ionosphere. Majestically performing a swan dive, or not a swan dive, sorry, but
Eagle dive?
A dolphin arc, except
Dolphin dive.
the sheer force of the explosion smacked him against the board, so it just looked like a flailing dolphin straddling the sky, who then came crashing back down to Earth, and then walked to the boat. Fortunately, he was basically right next to the boat when he landed. You then took off. As the boat took off, Asterion, Massimo, Salvatore, that's the one, our turtle boy, got shot out of a cannon, shoulder-mounted, of course, by our resident Dwark, Lipton. Skipped a couple times.
He skipped him?
Yep. Beybladed into the surf and swam down to the briny depths, to which he found 2 unconscious female elves. One ambushed him once they opened the thing, and then he used his brain talk to tell her that everything's fine, and I'm here to rescue you. And she was like, fuck yeah, let's get the hell out of Dodge. Non-verbally, of course. Salvatore was about to get murked, to which she then gave up any advantage that she would have had to help get the fuck out of Dodge to cast Shield and save the turtle's ass. And upon... Oh, I forgot the best part. Scion. During the boarding of the 3rd ship, towards the end, Lipton shot a cannonball. And someone, I don't remember if it was Lipton or not, someone shot, no, it wasn't Lipton, it was someone else. Someone destroyed one of the beams. Like 3 people, and Helmac and like 3 people dumped inspiration on this, and 2 masts were broke, a bunch of skeletons were squashed. Giant Helmac then picked up the mast and tried to smack the floating skull thing. Rolled a nat 1. I said, you know what? You hit. Roll damage. And he seemed very excited until he realized that Scion was in fact the target of the nat 1 damage, which brought you down to like 2 health or some shit like that. You went unconscious, got brought back up, but you had a little rough time there, Scion. But when everyone was back together and the 2 females, elves, were hauled up to the boat, I'm just going to retcon and say that the coffin got pulled into the boat, still sealed, with Titus. As the 2 elves were laid up on the deck, there was one that looked to be about 5 years old, maybe 6. Very young female elf, just a child. Pale white hair, the tiniest nubs on her forehead. Pale white hair and purple tinted skin, like pearlescent pale skin with a very faint purple underlying sheen, if that makes sense. And then the slightly older female elf appeared to be about 17. She had high cheekbones, black hair, and when she opened her, coughed up some water and opened up her deep purple eyes, she locked eyes on Titus and said, "Dad?" And that's where we're cutting into this episode of DTM, not Thursdays.
No, where's Cade?
Not here, so he's unconscious below deck.
Why?
I would like to add that this.
No, the dragons have carried him off to one of the islands. That's what happened.
Oh no.
The dragons and the chicken carried Cade off to one of the islands. He's having a vacation today.
Helmac, who is still large, by the way, walks over to Titus and says, "Congratulations, Dad," slaps him on the back, and then says, "By the way, how old are you?"
Literally with absolutely no concern of Helmac, actually as if I hadn't even noticed him, I just haul off in full sprint and drop to my... I'm assuming she's laying on the deck, right, you said? DM.
Mute.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, yes, she's sitting propped up against the side of the ship because she was unconscious, basically drowning, but she got saved in time. So she coughed up some water. She's sitting weakly on the deck. She's in ragged clothes. She looks thin, but her eyes are still sharp.
Now, also, what color are her irises?
Her irises, like the... that is a good question. They are pale silver like the moon. So pale silver discs surrounded by the deep purple iris. Hold on. She's got pale white pupils and deep purple iris. God damn it! I'm having a stroke here.
Oh, pupils are the
Silver
black part,
pupil.
and iris is the colored part.
Yeah. Silver pupil. Purple iris.
Do they glow?
Yes.
And then what about the
And
wee
your
one?
tattoo is glowing. And
Oh,
what
yeah,
about
but
the
what about
little
the
one?
wee one? Yeah.
The wee one, she has the same color eyes, but she has pale hair and two little nubbins on her forehead. Which anyone that wants to make a religion, arcana, or history check can do so now.
Oh, okay.
So again, with absolutely no concern, as if nothing else matters, Titus just runs over to his daughter, pulls her off of the ground or the deck rather, and wraps her up in the biggest hug, and just starts to cry, saying, "I thought I'd lost you."
Aw.
I thought I did too. And she starts weeping into your chest. The little girl is also weeping now and holding on to her mother.
Oh, right. I was like,
Borg starts weeping.
Alright, for those of you who did roll, History 12, Helmac, you actually don't know, you needed a 15 for this, but historically, tieflings sometimes, or people who have been either infected or have sort of devilish or lineage in their blood can develop horns.
interesting.
I mean, outside of game, this bothers me on a deep philosophical level.
Yeah, shit's fucked up. I know.
I briefly told Kara about what I might be walking into this session, and I also giggled to myself. And yeah, my DM's a terrible human.
Oh, I am a very terrible human.
No, he likes Mountain Dew. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Moral choices aside.
The ringing of hammer and nails and wood and the barking of Sven and Nock begin to fix the ship downstairs as there is sobbing and otherwise silence as these two and a half family members reunite.
I did have a question earlier. Everyone
go
is
ahead.
back on the boat, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know
Okay.
Nock. The two boats are currently lashed together as repairs are being made on the XS Yeehaw Texas time.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I did not pay attention to chat.
Okay, so after a moment, Titus swallows what he can, and holds her at arm's length while trying to drink her in, looking her up and down, and finally breaks the tension and the silence, going, "I looked everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I couldn't find you or the
Took me to
dog."
hell. And you don't know if she means that literally or metaphorically.
I don't care. I just wrap her up in a hug again because I'm just happy that she's in front of me.
At this point, she pushes you off for a second. Says, "I want you to meet the only good thing that's happened to me since we left. This is Penny, your granddaughter."
Grand. Son. That mean
I didn't
and
have a good life, Dad. There are some really evil people in this world.
that I've come to realize myself since losing your mother.
But yeah, also, for a quick moment, it didn't register for a hot second, but Penny is the name of one of Guthral's compatriots from back in the day. She was a sorceress.
So essentially I would I mean not me, but I'd assume the others of House Guthral would have told her of the legends of their house and all that good
Correct.
stuff.
And she is still holding a spell book that's tomed or wrapped in some sort of humanoid flesh.
I know. I remember the fucking joke of like pushing him with his side finger, and then also I can't believe it, and just grabbing the book and hugging it. After I thought I'd lost you.
Not go ahead and make me a carpentry check, because this is going to be a
Um,
long-term affair.
Probably.
Uh,
I mean, we'll see.
no, I mean
By the
the
way, and that
repairs
and
are going
so
to be a long-term affair.
Who's having an affair?
by the way, that you already know.
Knock
I
with
mean,
the wood.
I kind of for roleplay elements, I need to actually know where Cade is and like if he's not around, why, because like, it heavily matters.
I mean, I he's not here. We'll take the 15 there, knock. I'll get to that later. So it's better than what it could be. Oh no, your exhaustion. So fuck.
Yeah, that's why
it's
it's at disadvantage.
Yep. Okay. Well, then it's just going to take a little bit longer, but we'll get to that later. Cade. I don't know if I can roleplay Cade. I'll try. I just. I don't know what to do in his stead, and this feels.
Maybe just act like Sasuke, just like make it gruff or something like that. I don't know. He's a rogue, man.
I'll do what I can, and he just has to deal with the consequences. So yeah, Cade is on the boat, and at that point, he's probably. Let's see. Let's think about Cade's background. He became a drunk and a gambler, literally gambling his life after everything got pulled away from him, until he found you, and now he found like his niece and grandniece at this point. So at this point, I think he's probably rushed over and has joined the cuddle pile.
Well, that's what I said. Like, if you're like writing him off, that's fine. I just like for roleplay reasons, just need to know where he is. Or
Um. Yeah. I'll just be him. He's on the boat.
oh yeah,
He's just tongue-tied unless he's addressed directly.
mm-hmm.
But he is incredibly happy to have found his niece again, and she looks surprisingly like his sister,
So
except for her eyes and hair. Those are yours.
you already beat me to actually my next question. So, moving it along then. So,
what was your next question, Penny?
No.
Or
you're
okay.
No, you already answered it. You're fine.
Okay.
So, again, still holding her like at that arm's length, and just drinking her in. Just Titus kind of says to like no one in particular. I've grown the wasted and missed years. You're probably starving. Anyone, you have give. So you need to sit down, both of you.
I'm already on the ground, Dad.
And with him talking about food, Helmac emerges, having already left to go get them stuff to dry off with and food.
So, tell me from the beginning what happened, because I searched everywhere for you and Titus, and well, although I always held out hope, because I never found you.
When I said they took me to hell, I meant it literally, Dad. The
Which
humans.
Cleveland, hey, we're not
Cleveland rocks, Ohio, Ohio. The humans who raided our village, or our country, who we're at war with, are backed by devils, Dad. I'm not sure which one. I don't even know if it was a devil. But it was fire and blood and anguish. Until they didn't have a use for me anymore, and then they were going to get rid of me. And they were going to get rid of me. She tries to hide it, but her eyes dart to her daughter very briefly.
Oh, great. My kid's the Antichrist.
they were they needed someone's whose blood was special. But not for them, for someone else. They were working with someone else. I don't understand any of it because, well, we weren't too keen on sharing information.
Whose blood? I mean, you only have the blood of. And like, I just kind of like look at like my own glowing tattoo, and then my eyes dart back to like we're searching for Cade desperately, like among the faces that are just
He's,
onlooking.
yeah, and he is also kind of looking at you like, duh. I mean, you're kind of like
And then all of a sudden, with
alien
like
Fey
realization,
royalty.
yeah, as I
There's
look
power in
down
you.
at my hands, I then look back up at Cade, and then the realization hits me as I look back at my daughter. Oh, and Cade's alive! I found him!
Yay, Uncle K! And there's more tears, and she's eating cheese. And there's tears.
So, start from the beginning.
Okay. After our home was raided, me and Titus escaped. And we were on the run for a long time. We ran south. We were caught up in the desert for a while and we ran in and were housed by some of the Goliath tribes there who were very kind. But the humans were relentless. And they had help.
Hi, these savages.
Dad, it's some kind of conspiracy. They're working with people from all over the place. I don't know what they're planning, but it's big. Because they had some weird vampire guy who was in charge of the
I
blood
immediately shoot
thing.
a glance to Scion.
Scion, as soon as she said some weird vampire guy, immediately looks over and starts staring intently.
He was
Oh,
obsessed with
well,
blood experiments and genealogies. And apparently I was special. So,
Scion. Actually, I want to bring, like, kind of hearing this, like, as she continues to talk, I say, like, over my shoulder, Scion, do you hear this? Does any of this ring a bell?
It does for me. How Mac speaks up.
I don't know if Helmac would know. How much info would Scion know about his grandfather at this moment?
well, considering your mom and you escaped because she realized what her father was doing, a pretty good realization. Oh, blood genealogy obsessed vampire who's not draining victims but breeding them. Yeah, that sounds like Grandpappy.
Yeah, okay.
Would I be able to tell that while looking at his face? Would I know that something's up at least?
Make me a performance check, Scion, and make me an insight check, Titus. Titus,
I don't think Scion would actually be hiding the look on his face. He would like have a face of dismay, as in he knows who it is,
oh,
and
then
that would
yeah,
be.
then you don't even need a roll check. Then yes, you absolutely know that.
And I feel like Helmac would know as well because he was part of the experiments.
Yep, the tentacles both nod their heads, kind of nod the equivalency of their folds, which act as their heads, in this kind of sad agreement.
With a kind of fear. This is the first time you'd probably ever heard a hint of fear in Scion's voice, but with like a little bit of dismay and a hint of fear, he says, "Sounds like my grandfather."
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation, and as I do, I rise onto my feet and I start to walk towards Scion and begin to say, if your filthy ancestors have anything to do with this, I will see the end of your house. as fire just bleams purple from my eyes in pure rage.
The little girl, Penny, actually grabs the book and whips a small pouch out from was like a bandolier across her thigh, and like starts motioning some somatic components. Like this girl's a little fucking feisty little warrior, and she ain't gonna have no shit. She is traumatized and looks like this new guy is about to get in a fight. I don't know. You don't know if she has your back, Scion's back, or nobody's back, but this girl's ready to scrap.
Scion, with the look of fear going away from the mention of his grandfather, looking at Titus.
I mean, I'll just say this: like, I mean, obviously, learning that his very much of a, at the time, minor daughter was impregnated, literally put through what she describes as hell as she cried through, through everything.
No,
And you
she
are the
said
only
they
outlet.
literally took her to
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. So I'm just gonna say, Scion, you are now going to be the outlet of Titus's rage.
Quick
Congratulations.
quick metagame question. How long ago did this happen? Because you said like 5 years?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be before Helmac. Because Helmac happened like 3 years ago. As far as he can remember. He could have been there longer, but he only remembers 3 years. Alright. Oh,
Scion staring at Titus.
Titus, make me an insight check. With
Okay.
advantage this time. And
Okay.
keep going, Scion.
Me and my grandfather do not get along. You think your girl had it bad? Well, you should hear what he did to my mother. She was not his child. She was an experiment, something to make him get stronger. You don't think you are not the only one who is displeased by having this man in your family tree. Well, in my family tree, as you should know.
Yeah, Scion,
So,
with that insight check, Scion absolutely, you can see that Scion absolutely hates the fact that he's related to this man in any way. And it causes just a stagger in your anger. It doesn't stop it, but it makes you real. It's just enough to realize that Scion's not guilty.
I'm just gonna say Titus, filled with rage that he can't control. And by the way, nobody in the party has even seen Titus like remotely even like past just moderately upset. So like you've never seen
And you
him
went and blew
unhinged
up a
before.
ship for funsies.
Yeah. Has absolutely no place to place his rage and his anger and his frustration. Frantically starts like searching the faces of the ship crew, looking to find anything or anyone to place it. And as he becomes more and more frantic, and the anxiety builds, he eventually just falls to his knees, looks up at the what time of day is it?
Let's see here. It's time past that, and then docking. So I would say about 3:30 p.m.
Okay. Falls onto his knees and just essentially wails in just pure agony at just the situation at hand of both just a pure upset at the fact that his daughter went through such a trial and such a tribulation, and it's resulted in so much pain and anguish, and there's nothing that he could do about it. Throws his head up, looking at wherever the moon is placed in the sky, and just screams as hard and as loud as he can until it sounds like his vocal cords themselves are about to start to crack and bleed, and ending the cry of desperation in a howl. And I cast with my final spell slot summon wolves. The light that basically called, for those who remember the siege, that beam of purple light is now beaming out of Titus again.
From the sides of your vision, you see movement. Uh, it's confusing because it's in the water and it's underwater, and you see this large, maybe 30-foot long shape move under the water, and then all of a sudden it pops up above the water, and it's a cluster of wolves that have formed the shape of a submarine. They all take one massive breath at the same time, and they all dive back in under the water. After about 20 seconds of this, they reach the boat. They jump onto the boat, half of them dissipate, leaving only, I believe, 6. Oh, you have to roll 3d4 wolves.
3d4.
Wait,
I
hold
was
on.
just
You're
doing
casting
this.
this at 3rd level, so yeah, 3d4. So, roll me 3d4, and we'll see how many wolf guards you get out of
What
your
is the
submarine wolf. You get 8 wolves that summon your call, surround your daughter, yourself, and your granddaughter, and all howl to the moon.
DM, I'm not asking for a retcon, but if we were going to bring something out of the water, I mean,
a wolf shark or something?
Wolf
no, he
shark,
knows what I'm
baby.
asking for.
I don't.
I guess we have to put a pause on this and run away.
Oh no, there's no krakens here. Don't you worry.
No.
It's too shallow. Oh, then I don't know.
Real Titus.
Oh,
Actual Titus. Actual cannibal Titus.
roll me d100.
Should I go back there first?
Oh, did you pull us somewhere? I don't have that window up.
Yes.
Yeah. Roll me a d100 real quick. I'm glad that actually do it here. Make them wonder. It is not.
Oh my dog shit. All right.
Yep.
Well-
And no one actually noticed that when she said that. So Cool.
Who?
when your daughter said that me and Titus escaped, no one
No,
got it.
I even dropped it. I even said I thought you and Titus.
I know. Just
Yeah.
no one caught it.
Or if they did, they're remaining quiet about it for the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no real Titus. Just wolves.
Okay, bye.
Okay, we're back from outer
Yay.
space.
Somebody do that
Is
for me while
it
we're
wolves or something else?
It's wolves. No kraken. The water's too shallow.
I wanted a big skull cloud like in Sea of Thieves.
But he doesn't have Skywrite yet.
No.
Hey, you can
But I can be a
believe
giant
it's-
purple beam of pain and anguish that apparently summons wolves to literally fucking swim the Great Divide out to get to us.
Fuzzy, upon this
Mhm.
conversation bringing about old memories old being relative to how much he can remember, to Helmac, does he remember the location of where he was held since he flat out escaped there?
You were held in Alkir, which is basically a swamp, deadland, crocodile, snake infested swamp as far as the eye can see, full of venomous or poisonous plants or carnivorous plants, rovers, etc. It's not a good place to be. You escaped from someplace there that's way south. Oh, I don't even have you guys on the right map. I still have you on the world map, don't I? I'm sorry. I pulled you to
That's
to a
fine.
different place. Here we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, you were in Alakir, so since being on the world map actually helped you there.
All right. How Mac looks at Scion while Titus and his wolves are howling and says to him, your dad really screws everything, or your grandfather really screws everything up everywhere he goes.
Can I cast Animal Handle, or do I roll Animal Handling?
He's looking at the ground.
For what?
I wouldn't know.
To have a
my
wolf-y moment with
God.
the wolf.
I want to apologize because I am interrupting here, but holy fucking shit, Tootabug, that is amazing. Please look in the DTM general chat. She got the submarine, the dog submarine.
They really do have a gif of everything, don't they?
Wait, in the general chat?
DTM general.
DTT, yeah.
Oh
DTM
my
general.
God, I'm sorry. I just had to interrupt for that because that is too perfect.
Yep, that is a free shout out to the movie Storks. which is a children's movie, which is fucking hilarious. The wolves parts, we love the tiny thing.
This tiny thing is now a wolf, everybody.
We love the tiny thing! Anyway, back to the child molestation accusations.
I rolled it.
Okay.
Then.
That was a misclick.
Well,
Hey.
it's good you're having your wolfy moment with your
Who
wolf
was
voice.
going? Was I going?
So as Titus just kind of like lies on the deck, well, sits on the deck rather, on his knees. One of the wolves just kind of like nuzzles under his arm, and he just kind of wraps its head under his arm, and he looks down.
You've wild shaped. Inadvertently.
Oh,
You're now a wolf.
well, that takes away my.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I thought that's what was
fine.
happening.
I mean, I'm actually out of those.
I know, it was a freebie, but go ahead and do your thing.
And just kind of looks down at the wolf in its arm. You know, you remind me of an old friend, one I was hoping to see.
I don't know what happened to him. We got separated after the Goliaths took us in, and we had to run. Things aren't going well over there either. There's this black spire that just keeps expanding its influence, and that's why we ran into them, because they were moving north.
The black spire, the tears falling from the sky. Looks over at Cade. Fucking dragons.
Yeah, the dragons also have, like I said before, all three of them have picked up Cade, and they're flying him around, which is because they're mad at him for not giving them enough gold. They're literally shaking him down.
That's fine. Like so basically it's a comedic moment as like there's a heartfelt one like in the foreground, one in the background. You
Yep,
just see him
exactly.
like kind of like tossing up in the air. Like,
Come on, I don't have any more. I've been hanging upside down for 5 minutes. All the blood's in my ears.
and dragons, goddesses, dragons, falling tears in a spire. It all has to be related to these experiments.
I'm gonna be Salvatore for a hot moment. You know, after we take care of whatever we've got going on here, taking care of the Seven Sisters, I happen to have a friend who's very knowledgeable of such things. He might be able to shed some light on this information. I'd like to pen him a nice letter. No. This is old. He's very old. I'd like to pen him a nice missive.
Or
Well,
we could possibly look into this now. After
Nock
all,
could probably send a raven.
well, the way I see it, we're being
he'd
hunted.
eat the raven, and then follow your scent and devour your family. He's not big on new people unless they have a proper introduction. Your daughter looks over to Avon, who's kind of close. He's like, "Oh, hello. Can I help you, sir? You look like something's on your mind."
Look at her and ask her, so she's been to the desert?
I have. Was cleansed by the holy flame? I don't really know. It's kind of abstract. Not my bag.
We'll hold out the vial of sand to her and ask her, so you've seen this then?
There's the black sand is extra spicy today.
Oh, fantastic.
I have. That's not his grandfather, though. I don't know who that is. That's not his territory. I think they all have. I remember someone saying overhearing some conversation about territories. You can't make elves sleep no matter what. No matter how hard you try. You can put us in a coma pretty well, but even then, we're kind of around. So I got some details from time to time. And I just remember that the spire wasn't the Fang's territory.
Kind of interrupting, Titus helps his daughter to her feet and says, "Let's continue this below deck. Come, Abin, Helmek." And then I pause as I look at Scion, and under my breath I say, "And Scion." And I look up at him, and I meet his gaze, and I just utter, "I'm sorry for my outburst."
Scion looks at Titus for a second, and then he looks down and then looks up to the sky, and he says, "Forgive me for what my family has done.
Looking at Helmek,
Not that I can consider him family."
and then looking back at my daughter, who's heading below deck, and then looking at you. Seems that they make a habit of this, don't they?
Oh, my goodness. That hurt.
Scion speaking on that one, only him. Only him.
By the way, the reason why I'm using an outside game is that I want everyone or those who are involved to go below deck. So then, if anybody wanted to do pretty much fucking anything else, you could do that because I know that we've been like taking up time, and then we could probably pan the camera under deck to those who want to be involved in this conversation, where it sounds like we're about to put the pieces together of all of our different backstories to form one puzzle of what the fuck's been going on. At least that's what I hope to do. So if those who'd like to join downstairs.
All right.
It's backstory time, baby.
Hooray!
I guess we're just waiting on.
As those who I don't know who's going down below deck, but by the way, Fuzzy, I assume that like on one of the decks there's just kind of like a couple like tables and maybe like a couple benches, even if they're fashioned to the deck, to serve as like a makeshift mess hall.
Sea of Thieves rules.
Like
There's
galley?
like a table with a map.
Okay.
Correct.
The first
exactly
thing I do is
Thieves rules. It's perfect.
Okay.
For
I throw like you know just essentially like a burlap sack or a blanket or whatever the closest thing I could find over my daughter's shoulders as she sits at the table. And then I take actually like one good hard look at what is supposed to be my granddaughter.
She is walking about the mess hall, and she is saying some things in Draconic as she's reading from the book. Actually, it's not Draconic. It's I know Garuk actually speaks this. Does anyone else? This would be a special language for you too. But
Is
it's
it
actual
devil language?
No,
French?
It's French. It is Libris
Wow.
Mortuorum. It is a language that only like basically ancient sentient undead were known to use. And that is the language that Guthral wrote his spellbook in, and it is the language he cast them in.
Ancient undead.
Fucking Shane to mess with me. What a son of a bitch.
Right. So she is actually going about the room, repeating this same phrase over and over a couple of times, and after about a minute and 6 seconds go by, a pale golden light actually envelops the room and then fades away.
What language will it be?
Libris Mortuorum.
So
your grandfather would speak it. I don't know if you do or not.
Well, if my grandfather was speaking, that means my mother would have spoken it, and that means they would have taught it to me. Well,
that makes sense. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, she was casting someone's magic aura. I can't remember their name, but it's the same enchantment on your ring. Scion. It protects from divination and scrying.
Oh, okay. Can you type that in chat? Not the magic, but the language.
As they're doing that, I kind of pull Helmek aside as those who want to shuffle below deck and get out of the sun, and so that way we can escape any sort of prying eyes that might be around. Pulls Helmek aside and says, "I don't know what rations we still have on the ship, but do you have anything alcoholic, ale, liquor, anything at all?"
Um, the, I got something for this, me boy. He is going to cast create food and drink, but it's going to be um, predominantly red meat, baked potatoes, and brandy. No water, just brandy.
Now, as everything is appearing and being set out in front of everybody, Titus kind of gestures with his just his hand to have everybody hold off just for a moment. As he then looks down at the one. I don't know how you described it looking, but I'm just going to say the Ring of the Grammarian.
Yep.
And says, "I know I've used this once before, but I'm going to do it once again." And I'm going to cast Goodberry, but as Godberry. And then with all the berries that form in my hands, I'm going to squeeze them and use their supple juices and put a couple drops in every single person's drink that gathers around the table.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Like a Chambord.
It's a Godberry, right?
God, yeah, and I have no idea what it's going to do. Absolutely nothing.
Here's a good question on that. It's a holy berry. I don't know if it'll do anything to me, but I am half vampire, so I'm not sure.
Meanwhile, Helmex just slumped over
Actually,
at the
No, go ahead. I want to do one more thing, but continue.
Helmex just slumped over at the table, just glaring in the captain's direction, being like, "Just take my job, thanks." After he just conjures up a bunch of food.
Listen, it's not much, but it'd be handy. You've done a wonderful job, but this is more of a quick and easy fix. If you'd like to make something better, by all means. And he literally grabs the plates and dangles them out the window. I don't make these poor folks wait.
Can I talk to you for a second in the other chat? I want to see something.
Actually, yes, and I want to go there too.
Okay. Can I pull you after?
I got it.
Okay, thank you. Burb. Okay.
Hey, real quick, would you be offended, Russell, if you were given a couple?
What?
If you were given blood, would you be offended?
Repeat that.
If you were given a cup of blood, would you be offended?
If I was given a cup of blood,
yeah.
Scion normally drinks blood, but I guess it depends on who he's taking it.
All right, that's all I needed. I'll let you two talk.
Okay, just us.
All right. I wanted to see something because this would be interesting. I know the Godberry. I know I'm half vampire, but the Godberries. I was thinking about something. What if the Godberries had a secret effect of turning me pure human?
They do not.
Okay, I was just trying to check. It would have been dope. It would have been an interesting development, but
just lose all of your vampire abilities.
No, not permanently. It's more just for a side effect. It's a side effect that only lasts as long as the Godberries last.
I will consider something to this effect for the future, but at the moment I don't have enough mental capacity to come up with something convincing and good.
All right.
Because then again, it's different each time, so we'll see what happens. All right.
But
okay, proceed.
With me?
Yes.
So, as previously mentioned, I'm squeezing all Godberries that have been formed in my hands and squeezing their supple berry juices into the cups that I'm assuming that our pirated friend is now filling with alcohol. So, and as each one gets kind of handed out to each party member, I stop rather the drink that's going to be handed to Saya, and I go, wait a minute, and I with my hand, I gesture that the tankard be brought back to me, and as it is, I pull out my short sword. I look at Scion and say, as both a gesture of good faith of our friendship and as my apology, and also because I feel like you're the only one here who can give me answers about it. I then take my sword and I slice it across my my right hand, specifically my tattooed hand, and I let the blood pour into the tankard. And then once it reaches like what I consider an acceptable amount of a mixture of now Godberry, my blood, and alcohol, I give it to Scion, and then I pour some other blood, like as the wound continues obviously to bleed, into a second tankard, and then also give that to Scion. And I say, one, I want your professional opinion on, and the other is, well, enjoy.
Professional opinion on. That's fuck. Mwah. That's good. That's a chunk of moon cheese. I dig it. All right.
Yep.
And Titus would like to raise a toast to getting answers. Well, actually, no, rather,
Before you do
to
that,
getting to the bottom of this, and to, well, and I look at my kids, and then I look then onto, well, my kid and the grandkid, and then I look onto the rest of the party.
Your adopted
To
children.
the unexpected. Drink up, my friends.
Before you do that,
Okay.
you know what? Not a. Never.
You can have more than one toast at a fancy
No,
event.
I was actually about to think of something. I was about to be like, okay, Scion seeing Titus do that as a sign of as a sign of he had nothing to do with it, and also a sign of he's pretty much signing a not a blood bond, but like a brother bond contract. He would do the same thing in Titus's cup.
Oh shit.
But then I'm like, I'm half vampire. What did that do?
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna find out if he drinks it.
Wait,
you know
would Cyan
I
have
mean,
already done
I'll
that
say,
with
why don't
Helmac?
you just try to roleplay, man? See what happens. So I just
Scion
gave my toast,
before
and everybody, is putting cups to lips.
before Scion before Titus drinks, puts his hand up to Titus, and before Titus drinks, puts his hand up to Titus and says, "As you know, I appreciate this gesture, and as a sign of I had nothing to do with this, but also that I will, I will not harm your family, and I will protect them at the cost of my very life, and as a sign of being a battle brother." Scion pulls out his long sword, takes off his guntleted hand, and gestures for you to drop your cup down a bit.
And I lower the cup from my lips.
And he, I guess, slits in a quick motion, kind of like I guess you could say katana quick draw. He puts his hand at his blade's hilt, quickly pulls it out, slices his hand open, and pushes it back down, and then puts his hand over your cup and looks into your eyes for what would that word be?
And
Approval.
your gaze is met with only basically a look that that shows that Titus is deeply humbled. What's the other word I'm looking for? And shows nothing but deep admiration for you. And after like allowing a few drops of your blood to spill into his cup, I then, with my right hand, reach out and I clasp your right hand, and I say, "Brothers, then, to the end."
Let it be so.
And then I shake your hand. And by the way, DM, I don't know what color his blood is. I was going to ask. I don't know what color my blood is. I was going to ask, and I was also going to ask what's going to fucking happen now that our bloods are touching. Is this how I get AIDS?
No, vampires can't have diseases. Also, I'm a paladin.
you get elf AIDS.
You get AIDS, Titus. No, no, I'm just kidding. No. So his blood is this kind of almost.
Inky.
No, it's almost iridescent, like it's backlit with red.
Oh. Oh, like his eyes.
Yep, and yours has pinpoints of purple light filtering through your relatively normal-looking blood.
Now, what happens when our does anything happen as we shake hands? On our open
As
wound,
you shake
make love
hands
to each
and
other?
precisely, one, Scion, you're going to, after you drink your cup or whatever, everyone's going to get the benefits of a hero's feast from all this because this is fancy and everyone's going to get hero points. This is cool.
Ooh.
Get to that in a minute. But the question at hand is including the you're both going to get the effects of Scion's well-fed buff. Which, if you'd be so kind.
It gives you a D4.
Drop it, please.
No, D6. It gives you a D6 to any.
Drop the text in chat.
I don't have the text, sadly.
What?
It
should be on your sheet.
If it's in the features section, you can.
It's
just
not.
hit the
It's
bubble.
homemade. Oh.
Yeah.
But is it in your bubble? I mean, is it on your sheet?
Yeah, it's in the bubble, but it's not there. It's not a.
Oh, then just copy paste it.
No, there's no text to it.
Okay, well, fuck. You gain.
It gives me a D. It gives me a 1d6. Though. I know that it gives me a 1d6 to any.
Saving throw or skill check.
Once a day. Part of your consideration almost.
Basically, once a day, every day for 6 days. I mean, for a week. But also, because of your magical bloods intertwining, you're also going to be able to gain you get one extra first level spell for the duration of your well-fed buff. So you get an extra spell slot.
That's cool.
I just want to say this would have turned out a whole lot differently if Scion rolled poorly on Selena not having an STD or not.
That is also true.
I can't get AIDS or any diseases.
There's HPV. He is still human.
Also, True Blood rules apply here.
Ooh, I need to fuck something.
Maybe not quite that potent, but maybe a little bit. But you also have a more emotional. I don't know.
Taking the place of Scion's elf lover.
There is mild attraction, and there's more emotional connectivity between the two of you. If Scion's, basically, if one of you is in trouble, you can feel it without being basically a force bond. Mechanically, it's going to function the same way that Bryn and Abin do when they're within 30 feet of each other. You get a +1 to your attack rolls.
If you don't mind just giving all that to me so I could put it in my sheet.
When you're within 30 feet of Scion, you have a +1 to your attack rolls.
Like text. But not right now. It doesn't have to be right now.
Scion drink is blood, wine, god.
And Titus does the same.
Everyone drinks, everyone eats. That's why you get the benefits of the well-fed thing. The magical blood intertwining gives you magical spell slots, and you both kind of want to fuck. Scion, your well-fed thing gets refreshed. And then everyone gains the benefits of a hero's feast.
When's the last time I fed?
What is that?
I don't remember, but it's fresh now. You bring forth a creature that partakes of this feast gains several benefits, which these only last 24 hours. Don't get too excited. The creature is cured of all disease. Well, you'll gain these benefits. Fuck it. Oh well. You're cured of all disease and poisons, become immune to poison and being frightened, and make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. These benefits last for 24 hours. So basically, everyone heals 2d10. Your hit point max increases by that amount temporarily. But because of the vampire blood, you two will gain 1d10, half of that permanently. There we go. That's what makes it special. Everyone roll 2d10. Scion and Titus, you will gain half of this. So you're going to gain 8 permanent HP. Scion. Not Scion. Titus.
That's
From
cool.
the blood transfusion. Garuk, I have no idea what the fuck happened the first time, but
Accidentally
roll a hit
fudged
die.
the numbers, allegedly.
allegedly.
Does this also count as a long rest?
Yes, this will also count as a long rest.
Okay, long rest.
So now, we're into the feast. Sorry about that, I apologize. I had to do a lot of thinking on my feet,
Okay,
and I have
I'm
no sleep under my
confused.
belt. Yes.
Okay, so we're rolling a 2d10. Me
Yep.
and Crow.
Everyone,
And-
because that's from Heroes Feast.
Oh, okay.
Now, because you two had your magical blood transfusion, and you're drinking each other's magical blood, and the godberry juice and all that shit.
Fey blood, vampire blood.
Yeah, it's exactly fucking True Blood rules right here.
Okay.
Titus.
Basically, you feel like everything about you is enhanced.
Mhm.
Like you experience time more slowly. You feel super strong. You feel super fast. You're super horny, and you can super fuck.
Yep. Exactly. But also, there's healing properties in Vampire Blood and True Blood, and I'm taking that and applying it here to this Hero's Feast. That's everything's going in conjunction with. So you two are getting a permanent HP bump instead of a temporary HP bump for the Hero's Feast. It's half of the Hero's Feast permanently, so you're going to get 7 total. Add 7 to your max
that's
HP.
fair because I rolled a 15, he's a 13, so we can
Yep.
meet in the middle for 7.
Well, I was just rounding your numbers, so.
Also, that too. And then,
Helmet clasps his hands on both their shoulders, looks at Titus, and says, "Well, I guess you're my half-adopted brother now."
Well, I guess that you have a niece and a grandniece.
How old are you
The
again?
grandniece is very proper. She is sitting with her legs crossed at the table silently.
Like a little lady?
Like a proper lady. I mean, her posture is impeccable.
The Antichrist has manners.
Bion looks at her and says, "Maybe since we're family now, I should have my mother teach her 100% lady etiquette."
And so as people are feasting and as drinks are being had, and I still have no idea what the effects of the Godberry do for everybody, but I eventually look over at Scion and I say,
That made it a Hero's Feast, plus the mint juice.
Okay. And about that professional opinion, as I now gesture to the tankard that only contains my blood with no alcohol or Godberry, no additives.
Oh, he already drank both.
The pure version.
He just did a double shot. It tastes wonderful. Thanks,
He was just
asshole.
like, no. No, he tasted both of them, and I mean, the one with pure blood, it was way better than the one mixed with everything else.
It tasted like elf blood, which you've had before. However, it was the underlying notes of cherry and gooseberry were significantly more prevalent here than they were in normal elf blood. Very, very heightened, and maybe a hint of not honey, but honeysuckle.
Would he also gain any sort of magical ability from my blood, seeing as
You guys are getting an extra first level spell slot every day for a week.
No, I mean to detect. You smart Alec. Yeah, would he detect that the blood in itself is magical?
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely realize that. I mean, you just watched magical pinpricks of light in his blood fuse into you. There you go.
You know, since we're talking about blood, can we just I know we haven't talked about Helmax's blood, but can we just retcon and say he has luminescent blue blood?
Yep.
That's why has bluish gray skin.
So we then just have like a horseshoe crab. And red.
Yep,
So-
blue, purple, and red.
I'm fucking Mace Windu in this bitch.
Yeah. Okay, so while they're eating, Helmac starts talking to Titus and says, we really don't have a time period we need to complete this little excursion on. They're still going to come after us regardless of whether we go to them first, so we could postpone this and go search for Scion's grandfather
No.
and see if we can resolve this.
No.
You know
We
that
are,
is a bad idea.
we are not prepared. He would destroy us. No.
That's your answer for
consider-
everything.
I consider my mother one of the strongest beings in the entire kingdom that they live in right now. Not as strong as my father, but one of them. And she held not a candle to him. So no. And I cannot hold a candle to either.
I mean, a some odd 1,000-year-old vampire's got to have a few tricks under their belt to last that long.
By the way, DM, I know I've asked probably like 8 different sessions in a row, but everybody has those cloaks and also the whatchamacallit. I forgot the clasps.
Yep, the
The
dragon bone
unique clasp.
clasp.
Okay.
Yeah.
While they're saying that, I just like instinctually, Titus reaches up and starts to like play with and stroke the dragon bone clasp. Before speaking, well, I can tell you, I feel like I'm torn between 2 families at the moment. I don't want to leave my daughter, but we have unfinished business, and I don't know if these 2 things are going to be related. The reason why I called you all down here wasn't just to feed you. Is to get to the bottom of this. There's too many coincidences, too many timelines that add up, and I want to find answers. And we need to figure out our next move. We have 2 ships, and it seems like we have a lot to do, and it seems like we're the only ones doing it. As I now realize that I've been stroking this dragon's bone as I've been saying everything, monologuing. And I will let you know that although we came into each other by happen chance, I don't believe that it was mere coincidence or happen chance. I believe that we're all sitting at this table for a reason. And I want to thank you all for doing everything that you've done to get us as far as we've come. Because it's led me back to the only light of my life.
Cheers.
Yeah, I
Prost!
agree. But let us also be smart and cautious about the decisions we make and not run headfirst into our demise.
And I look at
We
my
could
daughter. My dear, you said that, well, they had a use for you, and, well, there she is. I have a feeling that, well, if you were bound captive on that ship, there are going to be people looking for you.
This is what I know. I know that there's a group of things, I guess, that are kind of working together for a common goal. And they also happen to owe each other some personal favors. I guess evil masterminds still do professional courtesies. I know I heard that there was the fang, the eyes, the claw, the wings, and the beak. And I heard them mention something about raising the heart. Or something. I don't know, it's kind of fuzzy, but I know there's a bunch of them and they're working together, and one of their professional courtesies was, Poppy, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, that's not how I feel about it, you know that. I know, Mother, it is an unfortunate circumstance. She takes a deep sigh and just grabs hold of the book. Back to daughter, not granddaughter. I had to find different girl voices. Shit.
You're doing great, man. Keep it up.
Thanks. Found it. But apparently, one of them, the Fang, was looking. Apparently, a, a vampire was still looking for better immortality. I don't know, but he needed a proper vessel with powerful enough blood. And I happen to be a decent conduit because of my unique nature.
Looking down at my tattoos as she's saying that.
Mhm.
Yes, believe it or not, your grandfather was very interested in who I was and my ancestry. I wish I would have paid more attention then at the things that he said, now that he's gone.
Do you want to know?
Scion.
Because I do.
Oh.
Fr-
Well,
From
sweetheart, I would love to know, but I'm just happy that you're here.
You're the heir to the unseelie court of the Feywild. You are the child of the Queen of Air and Darkness. So, kinda demigod-y. And apparently, with enough interminglings of powerful royal bloods, Guthral's included, with a little extra added in, there was a way for him to body hop into a proper vessel. And since they're all working together, when they heard about me through the human raids, they took the opportunity to get me.
Me. Us. Well, of course you're...
may I interject? I think I may know a little bit about this. I would,
Yes.
right?
And I look over at you. I was actually just about to ask if any of this meant anything to you.
I would know a little bit about this, right, Bentley? Or no?
Yeah, a very little bit. You actually make me a history check real quick. Give it to me with advantage.
Actually, should I do the
Sounds like
same? Trying to remember, well, my wife's father. What was formerly the Lord of House Guthral. His questions about my lineage.
Sure thing.
should I
17.
I need
Yeah,
to stop rolling.
you're not a big history thing. You really liked the plants.
I really liked his daughter.
You really liked his daughter. You were in love with the farmer's daughter. All right.
He asked questions, and I was like, "Yeah, now about that."
Yeah. I'm hit that. No. But so you don't remember shit, Crumb. But Wrathful, you do remember him meeting, overhearing your grandfather from your childhood, very young childhood,
So,
before
wait
you
a
could
second. Does
escape.
this mean that, like, in the party, we have like 6 different fucking royalty lines mingling right now that we know of?
that we know of.
Basically.
Because you have Cade with Guthral, you've got me with whatever you have to send me that in a message. That was a lot. And then, well, obviously, then the 2 kids that I now have, and then you've got Scion, and then you've got Bryn. Isn't Simmons? Are you royalty too?
He's a noble, yep.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Oh, sorry,
But
Bryn.
Helmac,
Bryn is noble, yep.
I
So
know
is
Bryn's a
Lipton.
noble.
Bryn
Yeah,
and
they're both
Lipton, yeah.
nobles.
A budding family business, but that's about it.
I mean, if anything, it sounds
Nobility
like
is
we're about
nobility,
to. I
baby.
would say we're about to play some fucking Game of Thrones and start to see how many fucking how big of an army we could fucking pull together to raise. I mean, right? I mean, no, seriously. Like, I mean, I know this is a meta game, but like, I mean, shit. You think about between all of our names that we could pull something together.
Oh,
Aren't we just finding out more about our families?
Also,
Either
Fuzzy, are we retconning? Because technically, it was my mother that escaped, and I got pregnant.
Oh
I mean, she
yeah,
got
you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You don't know
But
any of
no,
this.
she told me. She would have told me everything. That pretty
So
much. That's
she
why.
recalled
Well, I
hearing
thought
working with someone called the Beak, which the Beak rings a bell to you, Helmac, because the Beak was a code name for that Elithalich who liked to work with you.
okay. So upon hearing the beak, all everybody hears is just like a crack as Helmac's
Token common,
hands
man. There you go, Evan.
crush the crush a chunk of table in front of him.
Oh, Abbott, I'll knight you by the time we're done with this shit.
Oh yeah,
He already has been.
Oh,
and
then you
I
count
have
as noble.
and I have no clue about Helmac. I mean, Fuzzy. Also, don't forget. He's got his little dragon pendant.
You're adopted,
Yep.
so technically you are royal.
Doesn't matter. He has his own dragon pendant. He's got his own backstory. Don't you worry about it.
I was also adopted. And then I fucked my stepsister. I don't know, man. Shit gets weird. It's like fucking like.
Well, that's what happens when you get stuck in the washing machine. It's just
It's
natural.
Game of Thrones.
And then by the washing machine, I just mean the river.
Yeah, whatever. But so yeah, a couple of you have kind of simultaneous realizations that, oh shit. Okay, those are really big
Now-
bads. Oh shit, the big bads some of the big bads are working together. Oh.
Now,
no.
would my mother had told me why my grandfather was trying to body hop, would she know that much? What was going on in that general vicinity, like that?
She does not know.
Well,
Okay.
from what I remember when we were
Oh,
creating our
it's
backstories, like, me and your parents had some inside information about your grandfather and that you weren't privy to. But I don't
Yeah.
know if you wanted that changed at one point.
I think, because I'm pretty sure she would have knew that he was raising her up to body swap into my mother, because he was planning on doing that, but he realized she wasn't a suitable body.
Yeah, but do you think that your mother would share the worries of that with her child?
Yeah,
yes,
I don't think
because absolutely, because the whole point of your existence, after she escaped, the reason the reason you have two signet rings is because one of them is enchanted with that same magic word to protect you from divination from your grandfather, because your mother was worried that if your grandfather ever found out about you, that he would hunt your happy ass down because you'd be a perfect candidate for body hopping. So you're aware that is a problem.
Then where does Helmac factor into this?
I mean, do you want the metagame answer?
Well, actually,
Canonically,
let me squeeze it out of you, fucking in universe. How about that?
All right.
And then we can have, and then after this conversation wraps, we could have. All right, for everybody who wasn't paying attention or knew what the fuck we're talking about, this is what's going on. So that way we can all just be on the same page.
Thank you.
How's that? Does that
Good.
work? I feel like that
Yeah.
works. So, the Beak is the one who tortured you, my dear, and is the one who is responsible for, well, and I just kind of gesture broadly at whatever the fuck Helmac is. It sounds like that might be one of our starting points. Helmac, what do you know, and where do you think we can find the Beak?
All I remember is being experimented on, trapped in a cage, forced to fight. Hold up, man. I've already forgotten what's the place called where I was kept? What was it called? Start with an A. The land area
Algier,
south. Alakir. There we go.
World Map
Uh,
Tile.
when I escaped, I remember being in the lands of Alakir before running into Scion and his mother. So, that could be a good starting spot, though it's been years, so they might not be there anymore. Though, if we do find him, well, I just hope we do find him, so that I can get some payback.
Zion interjects again.
I
So
feel like I spelled
from
that wrong. Is that how you spell beak?
yeah,
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it just
Yep.
looks wrong.
Yeah, it does.
Zion interjects again. So here's some information I have that I know of, but this is all I really know. He taps his ring on the table. It's the bat one, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a anti-divination ring. It keeps my vicinity, my being from being detected, from being divinated. From what my mother told me, he groomed her to take her over, as you would say, body hop. But from what she says, he seemed to have given up on that idea because she didn't seem to be a suitable candidate. That's all I really know.
Until the humans attacked our village. And then they found you. And I look over at my daughter. Sion, what do you know about a human raid on House Guthral? I mean, I know that you know my family's name and Cade's name, but I mean, this is too coincidental
I
that the raid would happen on my people,
Fuzzy.
and then
Give me 30 seconds. I gotta pee like a horse. Everyone, let's take a pee. Let's take a bathroom break real quick. Sorry, everybody.
For Bryn, this story is so like jarring because she has no prior information about this.
it's like the real War of Royal Housewives. Like you're just
Oh.
like sitting like eating popcorn, like holy shit! Like this is like fucking quality entertainment.
Fuzzy,
Well, I
I
mean,
Oh my god, he was her twin brother.
Sion also would have told you. Sion would have
Oh.
also have just told you guys that he told you guys that the ring is pretty much keeping his location hidden, but he would have also told you guys that he is also a suitable candidate for body hopping.
I thought I gathered all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just love how this is basically turned into Assassin's Creed. It's like, hey, now go kill the second lieutenants, then you can go after the guy in charge.
I mean, it's standard RPG shit. I was
Yeah.
just gonna say like,
It's really like the Guthrals are like the main characters of their own story. Really,
I think everybody is the main character of their own story in this, really, kind of.
well, yeah. Now we're getting to the point where now it's all coming together. Well, major points are coming together. I still feel like the parts that haven't come together are going to fall into place on this road that is now being laid out in front of us. I feel like that this is why like as a
Yeah.
party in universe, this is kind of like a session zero light because it's letting us discuss our characters, our backstories, and our motivations to then propel us into what we want to do and our expectations thereon.
Yeah.
So like this session is extremely valuable, not just because it's fun to roleplay, but like I said, like it's literally letting all of us put together the pieces of the story that he's been weaving and with our backstories, which are obviously been included, to figure out what it kind of means, or at least what it means in the moment, and move from there.
I really don't know what Bryn's motivation is at this point. I just feel like she's kind of along for the ride at this point.
Well, I mean, we rescued you from a little dragon cave. I mean, why have you kobold
I mean,
hive? And you knew
they're
the
all-
people that. Well, I'm sorry, but you also knew the people that Cade was traveling with. So you already had. So you are actually tied to us.
I can interject real quick and on the subject of Bryn. My perception of Bryn so far has been more of a she's out to prove herself sort of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but yeah, And also, there doesn't really need to be a reason. Remember, this is quote unquote an RPG. Like, you can just be there just because you enjoy being there.
Bryn's actually the player character. The rest of us are just really, really well written NPCs. I mean, why else do you think we're all chanting Bryn, Bryn?
Well, like the references to the video games, like I'm just going to call it right now. When we get to the Seven Sisters, that's going to be one of those guys. I know the
Bryn
beak and
is
the
the
wing are
seventh
already
sister.
down there.
Oh no!
I know the beak and the
the
wing
eighth
are down
sister.
there, but like when we get to the Seven Sisters, we're going to find like one of those guys. What was it? The claw and
The
beak, the wing, the claw, and one more.
There were more than that.
Heart.
Beak.
The heart.
Yeah.
You okay?
Beak. Yeah, just the weed is good. There was the beak, the claw, the eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah, beak, claw, eyes,
Eyes, wing,
heart. There should have been another one.
No, I think you stopped.
I know. I forgot one.
I'm surprised that you have the
Tail.
thing working with people.
Tail.
I mean,
Tail?
Yep.
Okay.
Tail. That'll work. Thanks.
I'm surprised you have the. I knew that the Fang was working with the beak, but I didn't think he'd be working with anyone else.
Yeah, so
it's all
I'm just calling
connected.
it right now. One of them is going to be at the Seven Sisters.
Maybe, maybe not, but I will say congratulations and also fuck you. Yes, of course, I do write what I know, so I stole some Assassin's Creed conspiracy shit to write all your backstories together. Listen, all of you had compelling backstories. How am I going to make it work? Well, conspiracy time. I can't have one big boss that's all of you guys, so instead the big boss is conspiracy.
The big boss is all of us guys. Oh no!
Exactly.
It was us the whole time.
If you fuck around long enough, it'll just be a boss rush at the end.
Maybe the
It'll
real
actually
loot
just
were
be
the
us
friends
being
we
brought to
made
justice.
along the way.
No,
Yeah. Literally like Monty Python. Like the cops just show up, arrest us all, and then the fucking DM just says I'm done, and we're just then we call it.
Oh my god! I like that's the thing. Crumb and I watched Monty Python. I had never watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail before, and then when they got arrested at the end, I asked Crumb, "Is that fucking it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it ends?"
Monty Python and the Holy Grail is literally just D&D the movie. It's the first D&D movie. It really is.
Basically.
Like how a campaign really is. Like it starts off so epic with huge promises, low budget, and it ends when the DM just has enough and you all get arrested. Fucking cops come and we're fucking done. We're done. We roll credits.
Love it.
I love Monty Python.
Listen, you think that I said that, and you think that the DM was not fucking around when you had the deal with the fucking the rabbit? Really? Really? Like you didn't think that the DM was having enough at that point? You didn't think God was getting a little pissed off?
I was more surprised by the end of Life of Brian than I was by the Holy Grail one.
I'm not the Messiah. He is the Messiah.
What's funny about biggest?
It's been so long since I've seen that.
Maybe the next DTM movie night.
He has a wife, you know, Incontinentia.
Incontinentia
buttocks. I could not stop laughing at that part.
All right, I think everyone's back, so we can get back into it.
I don't think any of us left.
Yeah, I ran and peed and I came back. I packed Michelle a fresh pipe as a token of affection. So yeah, where were we? We were having touching discussions. Some backstories were linking up. We discussed the beak and the wing and the fang.
I can get us back in universe.
Please do.
As I look across this table, I'm just going to point out some common denominators. Not only do we all have ties to the eyes, the beak, the wings, but look at us. We are made up of nobles and lordships and knights. I believe that we have been brought together for a purpose, as I said before, but I feel like we could also pool our families and our resources and our houses together in an incredible alliance that starts here at this table with this fellowship. And we could stop this.
Garuk, you're kind of along for the ride, man.
I'm
You got
vibing.
you got stuck here on this plane of existence. You don't really have any prospects.
Nope.
Being friends
No
with
answer.
multinational
There's nothing
nobles
wrong
sounds
with
like a
just
pretty good idea. That's like
yeah. There's nothing
the
wrong
Sokka
with just
fucking
fighting the good
concept.
fight.
Yep.
No answers how I got teleported.
You're literally like the
or-
Gimli and my axe to this situation. Like you're like you know like oh my father could supply this. Like oh like you know like, I know that our house could supply this. And you're like yeah I'm just down to keep killing for you guys. Like that's fun. I'm enjoying it. Like you know skulls need bashing and I like bashing them.
I'm the guy that supports small businesses by buying out entire bakeries.
You, the small child,
You should actually have a
Penny.
whole PR department. You just buy like sweets after
I
you
may not
rampage. You just
contribute
go.
anything
I'm
meaningful
sorry
to
we
the
killed your
story.
father. Here, have a pastry. Fucking
I may not
pat on the
contribute
head.
to the story, but I will gladly be a flesh golem pet.
You were the first tear. Penny speaks up. You actually were the catalyst that allowed all this to happen, Garuk.
Go.
Your
The Dragonborn.
existence here, or placement here from somewhere else, created just enough of a gap for the people who were waiting to latch hold of it.
Well, I don't know
I'm
about all that.
I'm a prophet, so you know, Dad's a demon or a devil or something. Got touched by a god. It's kind of weird.
We have to have serious talks about these adventures you're having, young lady.
Well,
So-
I mean, I'm a third level wizard. I'm 5 years old.
Happy
I'm pretty
birthday.
good with a knife. I don't know when my birthday is. Time's different there. I
How
don't want to
about-
talk about it.
Well,
It's nice
actually,
to meet you all. And then she just kind of hangs her head down a little bit.
my dear friend. Oh, actually, I actually just like you know, as she does that, I just go, well, speaking of birthdays, then. Seeing as we're all gathered here, I can't think of a better occasion or better people I'd like to spend it with. Why don't we just say today's your birthday?
Yay.
Yeah.
February 8th. All right.
Don't
I
worry,
need to say
She
kid.
that I
smiles
found
at
you.
this.
Don't worry, kid. By the time I'm done with you, you'll be swinging a great axe too.
And well, I know that I don't look old enough to be a grandfather. That's at least 4 centuries old. And well, it looks like you have a whole clan of aunts and uncles that are ready to die for you.
Just one
She
ant,
just kind
but,
of
you know.
blushes and she's swinging her knees, swinging her legs underneath her chair. First time she's acted kind of like a kid the whole time.
Knock. A word, please. As I rise from the table and I pull him aside, or as I walk into a dark corner. With, by the way, a piece of paper in my hand because I know how this shit goes.
You guys haven't been paying attention to chat because while you guys
No,
were
I
all
have not.
feasting and when you guys
Why
were
would
all
you do it?
feasting and stuff,
Yeah, he's just
I
asleep.
was below deck asleep. Like,
Yeah, you
I'm
get
exhausted,
a
man.
full rest
Oh.
at this point.
Oh, got it. Well, then
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
you
gonna
guys gotta
go.
go hunt me down. Figure
I'm
out
gonna
what
go
I
below
want.
deck, and I'm just gonna leave at
No,
some point
you're on
during the feast.
USS Piff and Puff and Pass. I'm on USS Texas.
Yeah,
So-
and they're bound together. It's
Yep.
not that hard. And I can
Okay.
also, I can just face step whenever I feel like. So, at some point, you're just gonna know that you have a note that I'm just gonna leave on your face, and it's just gonna say, "Can you make some toys for the little one, love?" And then Titus, and like a little heart scribbled.
Is it what is written in common, right? I imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't
you
know
should
why
make
I'm
him work
common.
for it.
At this point, Nox gonna finally wake up from his long nap, stretch.
As you put the
Open
paper on his face, he wakes up. Like
I was
you
gonna say,
wake.
should I roll for some like stealth or some shit? I don't even know.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean,
Let's make a roll
it's
and see exactly
dark
how
in
this
there.
goes.
Ah, fuck. Knock, whatever happens, I just want to let you know that I love you as a person, but apparently our characters are gonna get weird. but I'm willing to let it happen.
I mean, there's already sexual tension
Listen,
between
I'm
Nock
grabbing
and
at
Cade.
something in the dark. Let's see what I'm getting.
No.
Make me
Well,
a
he definitely
charisma.
feels it.
Make me a charisma saving throw with advantage, there, Titus.
Oh, great! It's bigger than I thought.
Make a charisma saving throw, me and
No,
Titus?
just Titus.
You said charisma
Okay.
or constitution?
Charisma.
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 It better not be Constitution. There's
Hey,
another problem.
Yeah, you know, you look at him just before you put the note on. We're like, and it's like, oh fuck, what the goddamn vampire blood?
How I'm gonna react to this, my privacy being invaded, him being super close to me. First
The
thing is,
note
I'm
in
gonna
his
pull.
hand.
No, I'm going to grab him by the shirt, hidden blade just inches away from him, green slave blade for extra flavor, and
Do it.
say in undercommon, essentially, what the heck are you doing? With that face tone that would clearly convey that message to him.
So, seeing as I'm still
I'm
kind of
pissed.
like, well, because obviously because you're reaching up and you're grabbing at me, so you're at a lower elevation. I'm just gonna let the note fall and gently float and hit you in the face. And
All those things happen simultaneously. So, grappled up, raffled green flame blade, threat is issued, note on your face, slowly sliding down, cartoon style.
How far away is he away from? How far is?
None of you
we're
hear
on another
this. You're
ship.
on a
You guys
different
are
bit.
like doing your own thing. Yeah, like
Yep.
that's just at some point Titus slipped away, and all the merriment and wanted to find Knock to put in a special.
Oh
order.
no, I wasn't talking about. I was included. I was just saying how far is he away from technically me? Because he'd get a +6 to everything he's doing.
You both would. And that's only, but it's saving throws. But they're
Well,
not
actually,
within the
one
30
wasn't my
feet, I don't
saving
think.
throw. No, mine was a charisma save.
Yeah,
so
it
I
was
used
just to be sexually attracted to Nock because of the
okay.
vampire blood. That's all it was.
Noise.
True blood roll. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
My God, no, I want everybody to roll nat ones on those saves. Everybody needs to be in love with each other.
Everyone, there just needs to be like,
Match
yeah, just thinly veiled.
You're
Do
quite
they want
literally
to fuck?
on the boat
No,
now.
no. The very final session of this is just an orgy.
Stephen
Oh,
King
God.
style. I see.
There's
No,
a
Oh
photo
my
of them in front of me,
God.
so I hope not.
Well, I mean,
Considering
if you've ever read a Stephen King book, oh my God.
I
considering
have
the
read several.
ratio of male to female, there's gonna be a lot of butt stuff.
Retarded, it's still your
No,
butt.
that's 20. 20 points to Bryn for that.
Human centipede.
All right. So, you two are
Sorry,
all
I had to
wrapped up
step
on the.
away for a second for packing stuff for tomorrow. Did I miss anything besides everything
Yes.
happened?
Just
Nothing.
laughter.
Human centipede.
There.
So, anyways, Knock, you've got a
Yep.
note on your face. What are you gonna do about it?
I'm going to carefully release Crumb, giving him a shove, like get some distance from me. I don't know why the heck you're in my personal space. Take that note off and let it fall to the floor while I stretch and wake up fully.
I always hate these conversations. I always feel so one-sided, as if like I'm doing all the talking, and you're just, yeah. Anyways, left a note for you.
Yeah. Knock still somewhat being groggy and tired. He's gonna be like, mm-hmm, and walk up above deck, ignoring the note that you left.
Well, that's very rude. Almost as rude as waking somebody up.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask, Bryn. A lot has been happening. You haven't really had a chance to say or do much. Is there anything you'd like to do or say or
I mean,
address
she's
or
kind
bring
of
up?
just been sitting and listening around, just been listening to what they've been saying. But what's the granddaughter's name?
Penny. It's actually Penelope, but everyone calls her Penny. She was named
Penny.
after
Okay.
a sorceress, also a queen of an ancient kingdom now fallen.
So Bryn walks up to Penny. How tall is Penny compared to Bryn exactly?
How tall are you, Bryn?
Bryn is. Hold on. Let me even.
Well, Carly is a little over 2 feet, if that gives you any frame of reference, and she is turning 3 very soon.
I have this somewhere. Hold on. It's on my app instead of the web.
Ah. Well, that's a easy fix, an easy note later. But
Yeah.
whatever it is, she's about 2 inches shorter than you, because I'm assuming, here's what I guess you're going to say. You're going to say you're 3'8". That's my guess.
Just about.
I know it's about, but I want to know the actual number. This is just the slightly psychic in me talking. I have a general knowledge of many things.
An approximate knowledge of most
Approximate,
He's
thank you.
3.5 feet.
See?
I honestly
How...
watch Adventure.
But yeah, so... She is a couple inches shorter than you. Unless you're real short. She's 3'5". There we go.
Okay.
She is all knees and elbows. She's going to be tall. She is not yet. Her eyes betray a maturity that a child of her age should not have. She's too young to, but understands death.
Okay.
And that she causes it.
And she might have to cause it if she hasn't already. I mean, she did immediately ambush Salvatore underwater when he tried to rescue her because she didn't know if he was a good guy or a bad guy. She feigned unconsciousness until the cage was open. Then ambushed
Bryn
him.
is like 3 feet.
Okay, so she's a little taller than you.
A little bit.
Jeez.
Yeah, she does, Avin. Yeah, she does.
Yep, I put exactly 3 feet.
Oh, I'll be damned. I was way off. An approximate knowledge.
Like I'm just imagining Abin right now being so tall that he has to like bunch up his knees, and his knees are just like high up in the air, trying to sit down
like
at the small
Gandalf
chairs.
in the Shire.
Correct. That is a very appropriate approximation. Stop using that word. Okay.
What?
Approximate.
All right. She walks up to Penny, and she says, "Hi, I know. It's nice to meet you. I know we haven't properly introduced ourselves. I'm Bryn." She kind of holds out her hand.
My name is Penny, and it is. Oh nope, she's a little girl. She talks up here. My name is Penny, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And she shakes your hand. So far, my nose is in my eyeballs. That's where she lives.
What?
I'm sorry. I thought I muted myself. I was making a mental note of where her voice lives, because when it's Russian, the Russian voice lives in shoulder. To get the rush, I roll shoulder once, twice.
You have trigger phrases.
I know how trigger phrase. I have trigger body location. And she lives way up in the nose.
Bryn also adds, "I also wanted to say happy birthday."
Thank you. It's the best birthday I've ever had.
Did it just go suddenly?
Hard cut to when everything is burning and she's laughing.
Can Scion interact with
the fire starter little girl meme?
Like,
go ahead, Scion.
Bryn smiles on the outside, but on the inside, she's like, "Gosh, she's so cute. I can't."
Scion, I was going to say, can Scion interact with the children? But then I was thinking, they may be scared of Scion because his helmet is off right now, and you can clearly see vampire.
I mean, she's
I
literally
I don't think Bryn's as intimidating, seeing as she's shorter than both of them.
My soul's been touched by Saloon. My father is grozzed. I'm not too worried about you, buddy.
Wait, me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, if I die, it's just going to be worse for you.
Wait, what?
Oh, no.
Well, yes, because then I'd have to kill you.
No, Scion was just thinking all of this, and she's just talking. He's just staring at her like, is she reading my mind?
I mean, I'm
Told you I'm
getting
a prophet.
like mixture of like Children of the Corn meets like Wednesday vibes.
Yeah, no, Sion's just looking at her at the side of his eye like, freaky.
And Fuzzy,
Yes, ma'am.
did Chesty come with us on the
Oh yeah,
ship?
Chelsea's on the boat.
Okay. And
That's
is it
on a
possible?
related note. That is where Nock was getting most of the materials, because whenever the boat would break, Chesty would eat the wood, and then when he needed a repair, um, Nock would reach in Chesty's mouth and pull out a fixed board.
Gotcha. So I have a question. Is there any kind of material on the boat you think the captain would allow Bryn to use to make armor?
I have absolutely no idea what you could make armor out of.
Okay,
There'd be some material. We just murdered a whole bunch of skeletons.
that's true.
No, you will not decorate my granddaughter in bones.
They were wearing armor. Although, let me tell you, I might be interested in some bone armor. That does sound pretty badass.
That does sound pretty badass.
Then I would be happy to make some for you, Captain.
Captain Bones.
And to answer your question, Abin, absolutely yes, you may. I will whisper your results.
This is how the Ghost Pirate Legends get started. This is literally it. This is how we do. Good job, everybody. We were just a plague on the fucking continent.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah.
wonder if Bryn's head is small enough to wear one of those things skulls as a helmet.
One more time, Bryn?
Oh, that was just an out of character thought.
I know, I
was
didn't hear
saying
what you said.
I was saying I wonder if Bryn's head is small enough to be able to wear one of those skeleton skulls as a helmet.
Quite possibly. Actually,
Mm.
it is. Interesting.
It's just one of those intrusive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't loot. That's when Helmac actually stands up from the table as if realizing something. Are we just going to leave all those skeletons up there? We haven't even looted their bodies yet, or searched the ships for treasure. I know something important happened, but that's also fairly important. After this,
Nock's gonna peek at what Helmac said. First off, Helmac, are you on the other ship?
I'm with the feast. Everybody on the
Okay.
feast on the main ship.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I heard that. I'm still close by on US Texas doing repairs, but
Yeah, we're on the other ship now.
okay then. Fuzzy, would I hear that or no?
Fuck no. You're on
Okay.
a different ship.
Just making sure.
That's the kind of question we asked like 12 sessions ago. We're past that.
And that's the kind of question we continuously joke about.
It is.
Mhm.
While all this is going on, I'd like to pull a small penny aside, and as I do, I remove one of the rings from my fingers and I lay it in her little hand. Happy birthday, sweetheart. And because I know that you have been gifted with innate magical abilities, I figured this would come useful for you. It's a ring of spell storage. I know you're young, but
Her eyes go wide. This will be incredibly handy. Thank you so much.
and by the way, just because I'm a concerning grandfather, it has only healing spells currently stored, but obviously she can remove it. So it's got like good berry, it's got healing word, it's got like I just like literally just just healing spells.
He's just giving more power to the Antichrist.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I'm going to now remove the ring of spell storage from my inventory.
Okay. There you go.
Bryn kind of butts in and she's like, I don't mean to like one up your grandfather here, but once we find a good port and I get some proper materials, I'll be able to make you some armor that you might like.
Ah, Bryn, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
That would
It's
be
what I
very
do.
sweet of you. Honestly, though, I'm kind of light on my feet, so something light or maybe just some bracers would be lovely. If that's not too much. It's just armor's gonna weigh me down, and to be honest, she has a very skinny, slender frame. She might not be able to wear heavy, She might not be able to wear medium armor.
Bryn, do
So,
we have any
Okay.
of the
She's not.
scales left? As I gesture to my plate. I mean, this stuff's pretty light.
Bryn reaches up and kind of ruffles Penny's hair a bit, and she's like,
mhm.
"I like a customer who knows what she likes."
When you ruffle her hair, your palm bumps gently across those two little nubbins on her forehead. As you do, obviously you notice, you look at them. You were expecting, some sort of sign of demonic possession or whatever, or some evil shit, but no, they're two little golden hornlets.
Wow. He's so
Like,
cute. I can't
you,
even.
you
By the way,
know,
Bryn, did you hear
Chassis,
my
turn the
question
back
about the
back,
scales? Do we have any of those left?
measurements underground, doing some math. Okay.
The dragon scales?
Good shit, Knock.
Hello?
yeah, Mary,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Crumb's talking to you.
Oh, you were talking to me. Okay. What'd you say?
Do we have any scales left?
I don't. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't
I mean,
have
we
any in
wouldn't
my.
need many. I mean, they're pretty big, and she is pretty tiny.
I
Well,
don't
I,
have
I,
any
well,
in
I
my.
don't know if it was you, Simmons, or not, but I feel like someone stashed away the remnants of something.
There should, I know material-wise there should be enough, because you had like you had enough for a whole set of like half plate, and no one really wanted it, so you could make like 4 sets of leather armor out of that, and for a child, you'd be able to make a set of armor for her without really any major
What
consequence.
class is my daughter?
She is a wizard.
They're both wizards.
Yes, they are both wizards.
Um,
Your daughter is a little rogue as well.
Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
her great ancestor was a fucking blade singer.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the family business.
Bryn, would
It's a good thing.
I would be more than happy to pay you, but if we do have enough scales, could we also make something for my daughter as well? I mean, hell, something matching. I'll pay you.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that.
Be advised, just want to remind you, metagame, that's leatherworking for the scale armor that I'm wearing. If that's what you're wanting, you got to talk to Nock. If you want like that half plate, a male scale thing, that's I
Well,
think
Nock
armor.
just leaves your notes on the floors, and he doesn't talk to anybody.
No. I'm just saying for you.
Me too.
And as she's talking to Titus, she also makes a comment. She's like, "I'm really glad that you guys found each other. I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous."
Why is that?
Well, I do miss my family as much as they drive me crazy.
Oh, where are they? Where do they live?
What's the name of the place that they live again?
Cordelica. They live in the capital.
Just
Right,
south of the place that we picked you up, which was Altheim.
Mhm.
right.
All right.
They live in the capital, but they're always really busy with either business or their own self, I don't know, just other things.
Well,
Well,
from a parent to a child, I'll tell you that I guarantee they miss you more than you could ever know.
I hope you're right.
and we can always visit them.
Excuse me, sorry. That sounded like I had a relatively interesting comment, but no, I was gonna breathe, but then like hiccuped and exhaled at the same time, and it just ended up sounding like a gasp.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. Well, one of. Moving on. So yeah, you with the armors thing, you could definitely either one of you could make it. But the leatherworking would probably give him advantage. However, you could also make a set of medium armor with mithril and those dragon scales, and it would be basically the same weight as light armor. So it wouldn't require a strength score. However, the child will grow out of that, so keep those things in mind.
Okay.
There's mechanics. Also, you guys are once things get kind of squared away ship-wise, which we'll get to once the important role plays and story bit gets out of the way. You are also on your way to pick up the second of Saloon's Tears, which you're like a day away from travel.
Wait,
Boat-wise.
the second when that happened?
After the siege was over.
I don't remember
No,
that.
we lost the first one, right?
After the first.
Yeah, you lost the
we-
first one.
Yeah, we buggered the first one up.
Mm-hmm. You got
And
some
if
scraps.
this is
That's about it.
Dragon Ball rules, that doesn't matter. We just need one, and they'll find us eventually.
Unfortunately, it is not Dragon Ball rules.
Little do we know, Crumb's comment made Fuzzy rethink the entire plot now.
Hey, son of a bitch, that motherfucker. first the Gears of War comment, now this. By the way, I want to say the entire time you're talking about Saiyan's grandfather, I just wanted to say, so you mean Palpatine rules?
Fuck. There are no new ideas.
No, there's not. Even
yeah.
George Lucas.
They're just
does
reskins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just you paint them in your own inspiration.
The real problem happens when every combination of musical note has been played. That's real
when
problem.
I just open my ass cheeks, pucker my butthole, and utter the sweet phrase of fart.
Yep.
Anyway, away from the existential crisis that I've been circling since I was 14.
Coming into a tube sock?
I'm a dry guy. I just come on my belly. I just come on my belly. I am the most least threatening guy in the world.
I finish in my hand, but yeah.
No, I try and get distance.
Well, I try to contain it. I mean, how else do you eat it?
You open your mouth and you try and shoot it in there.
No, you have to. It's
I
art.
just love where this conversation is going.
Yeah. No.
What, eating cum?
I think on that note, I got to depart for my my other commitment for the evening.
Man,
no, that's a good note to
It's better to
on.
come in the sink than it is to sink in the cum.
Amen, brother.
Amen. All right, so now back to D&D, and away from the.
Catch you later, homies. Good night.
Where this went.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
we got canceled on YouTube before we even got started.
Right? It's incredible.
Yeah, speaking of that, like I was watching one of the previous sessions and I didn't hear any music, so I don't think Watch Together comes through the stream. So you
some of them, no, it does. I didn't have it up for a bunch of the first videos.
DM, it's a shame that I've already used my use of the Ring of the Grammarian. Otherwise, I'd use it to change my name to DTM Cum for the rest of the evening.
Jesus Christ. This is all very kind of you. And
no, you're not allowed to do that. You can't just immediately jump into.
I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to get us back to D&D. It's hard.
Yeah, but like you gotta bridge the gap better, man. That was.
Listen,
yeah,
hard
yeah.
pivot.
Make us roll loot or something. At least get us back into it.
There's no rolling loot. There is
look at what Abbott's commenting in chat. What you? So Dragon Scales.
Yeah, so Dragon Scales.
Dragon Ball, I don't know what we're talking about.
There was potential
Vegeta's
for
coming.
Dragon Balls and Dragon Scales and Mithril was the possibility for medium armor. Like you could also make a with some help, probably some elven chain. It's basically a chain shirt of mithril rings. It doesn't even count as armor, so it would bump their AC without imposing disadvantage on spells or anything.
That'd be fun.
No Dragon Scale cock rings.
Oh, I thought you meant like CK as in Louis CK, but hey, it's still right up in that same alley.
Yep. But no, D&D wise, you have some options there. Because I know you've still got some mithril left.
I'm gonna let Bryn just do what she do. You and Bryn.
You and Nock can figure all that out together and figure out what you two want to do, what the options are.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bryn's present to my granddaughter and I guess now daughter. So let her do.
Yep.
Let her do that.
Yep. Do you want? Yeah, think about what you want to do, and we'll roll some crafting tonight or next session.
Okay.
Helmac will offer his help, admitting that he knows absolutely nothing about making this stuff, but he will do whatever menial labor she needs.
She says, "Thank you. I appreciate the help."
Yeah, that'll basically, when this happens, give her advantage on all of her checks.
Yep, that was planned.
Nice.
And have fun dealing with that ring of spell storage, DM.
Yep. So, it's been an eventful couple of years. Dad, I'm really glad to see you.
Me too, sweetheart.
And she gives you another big hug. You see some scars that are new.
I try not to focus on them and just enjoy the moment.
She smells the way you remember.
And she looks just like her mother.
Mm-hmm. Except the eyes and the hair. Those are yours. I think I'd really like to take a rest. Because, we don't sleep, but God, I'd like to try.
So I show her and the little one to whatever Titus calls his area of the ship.
Yeah, the crew quarter.
More.
It's basically just a hallway full of bunks, but.
Well, then I guess to my bunk and have them.
Yep. There's space for some extras, so they can set up a couple of hammocks. Easy peasy.
Well, no, they can sleep on the bunk. I mean, if
okay.
anything, Titus will lay in a hammock.
All right. What a gentleman. Then they will both tuck. Well, your daughter will tuck in for the evening, but Penny will do things when the role plays are over, because she has her own schedule she has set here too, because she has things she has to do with herself.
Hooray, the Antichrist is in our party. Well, guys, have you ever wondered if we're the good guys or the bad guys? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, we literally steal dragon, burn villages down, and have the Antichrist. I don't know what side of the fence we're on anymore, but we're really fucking balls deep in it.
No, like she's either like the Antichrist or she's like the MacGuffin of this campaign, and we'll just use her to destroy
the
everything.
DM's tired of us fucking around, so he's gonna point us in the right direction finally.
Or she's just the natural progression of the story that happened for your daughter, and none of those things apply. Maybe it's just a natural evolution of events. No, I didn't think
no
so.
such thing.
Actually, the rest of the campaign, we actually battle giant spiders. All this shit has just been like just a tutorial.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so they're going to. Your daughter will take a rest, and she will tuck her out for the evening, which leaves Penny to continue to pick at the moon cheese because it tastes kind of like marshmallows and strawberries and cheese all at the same time, and she doesn't get it, but she likes it.
Does she need to make a con save?
Oh fuck, she does, because she's gonna get high. Everyone needs to make con saves.
Except for Nock, because Nock wasn't there for dinner.
That's true.
No wonder why everyone's in such a good mood and getting.
Wait, why does everybody need to make con saves?
Moon cheese. Get you high.
I didn't. Oh wait, I ate moon cheese.
Yeah, I added it.
Yeah.
I rolled a 26.
Well, remember,
Can I be
everybody's
high
around
anyways?
me, so everybody has a
Yes,
plus
you can.
6.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm gonna cast elf weed.
Yep, druidcraft.
Well, I literally have pipe weed.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't,
And I can there's a
Or you can
checkbox
just
next
take
to
a-
it, and I can use it as an
Wow.
attack.
Wow. The one time, like, none of the con saves really matter. This is just fun BS, and we all roll amazing.
Oh yeah, you should have been
Perfect.
here for literally all of Star Wars. That's how it always is.
Mhm.
Oh,
Except for that.
Hey!
Then you have that. Like so then there's Evan who's licking the fucking ass tripping balls. Between the Godberry and this, he's just on another fucking plane of existence.
Abin's still
So
staring
my
at
internet
the
went
same.
down. I gotta
Mhm.
feed the cat, and I will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Abin said.
Yeah,
All right.
basically. Abin
Well, just sitting
is.
in the middle of the ship. Hey guys, I'll be back. I gotta go feed the cat. What the fuck?
Abin's sitting down in the crew quarters in his room. He's still his area. He's still staring at his sand, but in his brain, he's hearing tribal war drums of his people, and he is seeing fire and dance and the sands
great.
and darkness
Brian's having
and
a
joy
bad
and
trip.
oh boy, this is good cheese. Listen, you're seeing now that sounds bad, but I was thinking Native American dance circles because that's what I grew up
Oh,
with.
that's better.
Yeah, so take all those things and put it in a positive context, which is kind of weird, but you're having yourself one hell of a good time mixed with this is some crazy fucking sand, man.
I am also most definitely just sniffing at this bottle.
How much sand does he snort, and does it have an effect?
It
not
is
snorting
magically
sand.
sealed, so it'll be really hard to get out right now.
Yeah.
But
Cracking
I
my
hope
little
he
bottle
doesn't.
open, kind of just taking little puffs at it.
I
Rub some on his gums. He doesn't know
I
why, but it feels good.
I hope Abin doesn't like somehow pickpocket the dragon spice from me.
it smells like mothballs, and it tastes like orange.
It makes my mouth vibrate and dance.
That's definitely not cocaine then, because it makes mine go numb. I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Yeah, literally a
I
song about cocaine.
shouldn't sing. Oh, but
I mean,
you know
there's
what?
also a song
Called
titled
cocaine.
Yeah.
Now my nose itches. Goddamn, we're
What
so
what
off the
about
rails. Come
Lipton?
on. Yeah, Lipton, what have you been up to, good sir, when
Well, actually,
all this
DM,
has
what
been
was that
dropping?
nat 24 that you rolled?
That was the little girl's con save.
Now, what about my daughter's con save?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
That's what I thought. And no wonder why she had to go lay down.
Yeah, so she's gonna have herself a mild trip, just some
Great,
mild
my fucking
hallucinations,
great. My fucking daughter's a lightweight.
just like your wife.
Titus is lighting up weed because he didn't even feel it. He's like, "This fucking cheese."
Yeah.
You can
His
purposely
granddaughter though.
fail to save if you'd like to. You can trip your balls off if you want. That is absolutely an option.
Lighting the fucking this fucking cheese.
Psilocybin.
Ow!
That's what's in the cheese.
Yo, it's straight up LSD, man.
But
You're welcome. You hear Helmek yell.
LSD 35, baby.
Sound very high.
Yep, tripping your balls off.
On a
You're
scale
back
from-
home on a boat.
Fuzzy, on a scale from 1 to Star Wars Spice, how fucked up are we?
Well, Abin's about a spice and a half right now. If he wasn't on a boat, he'd be on his own adventure.
He's a jackass and a half right
If I was
now.
on a boat, I'd be on a boat.
Abin's
If you
just
weren't
laying
a
on
boat,
the.
he'd be-
Abin's just laying on the floor of the cabin, just acting like he's swimming through water.
Nah. I don't think I'm swimming. I think I'm just on a boat
Okay.
for the first time.
Cade's okay, but Sal's got a little buzz going.
Ooh, I felt this one before.
Okay, in that case, me and Sal are
Oh,
Zach.
Woodstock! I remember this. Don't take
I'm
the
sitting
brown one.
I'm sitting with Sal again, trying to like bring up the conversations we had in the past. Just, all right, so I've been thinking about it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. That's old voice. That's the other shoulders. That's right, young man. We're gonna have to go talk to my friend Delgrathoth, the Creeping Death, Plague of the Lands, Destroyer of Kingdoms, and I don't remember all of his titles. This is rather long. But he's retired now. We're going to have to give him a visit.
Did Titus and Penny hear that?
Yep. Everyone can make a DC. I'm not going to tell you history check. Not go ahead. You can and do it with advantage.
What kind of check?
Everyone except for Nock is making a history check, and Nock's making a wood carving check and a history check.
May I make my history check with the bonuses for the ever smoking bottle?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
So you're gonna trip your balls off, and you're gonna pull out the ever toking bottle.
Do I get advantage? How do I do that?
Is he called the Dwarven Hammer because he wields one, or because he smacks dwarves with a hammer?
Because he drops dwarves like a hammer when they drink.
Yeah, everybody's getting like a little moniker. That's Scion's, Helmax's Ghost Puncher.
Bryn is just Bryn.
Yes.
Well, actually, and Titus is just Titus too, for his moniker.
We'll get you one eventually. You'll do something besides summon your pet. I don't want to say wolf submarine, but that's not appropriate right now. But history check, that works. Okay. Anyone?
I was being genuine.
What was that? I didn't catch what you were being genuine about. Sorry, I'm in eight places.
I said about Titus just being his moniker.
Oh, that's fair.
Here, I'll prove it.
That's fair. I have you on avatars. I'm gonna go to names only instead. Oh, I have you on names only. It'll change down there. Don't be dumb. I dig it. Anyone who rolled above a 10 or above, so everyone except for Lipton. I mean, Scion. Not Lipton, Scion, sorry. Scion, you don't know anything about fucking creeping death. You don't... I mean, whatever. You actually, no. Scion, roll this with advantage, because you absolutely should fucking know this. You should absolutely know this. Yeah, okay, you know this.
He just has a lower DC than everybody else.
That's correct. So everyone who everyone who passed this DC, Daurgothoth, the Creeping Death, is, for all intents and purposes, a CR 50 Dracolich.
What is that?
It is a dragon who has separated his soul from his body through incredibly powerful and complicated necromancy, and then re-inhabited his own skeleton. He's been known in ancient time. Basically, the whole civilization of today, as you know it, exists because he basically got pissed off and ruined most of the world a few thousand years ago. And then, people rebuilt and whatever, and he was just like, alright, we're cool now. I'm going to go retire about the whole conquering thing, and people keep coming to bother me, and I'm just tired of it. So he fucked off. But his name is a scourge upon the lands, and a curse has been known to be an ancient curse. Like invoking his name could, would get you stoned to death. And he's just like, oh yeah, my old friend.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. Would my divine health trait be effective against the moon?
No, it is not a disease.
The closest thing it is a poison.
Mm-hmm. But it's not. You have receptors
don't we have
for
immunity against that because of the heroic feast or whatever the hell?
Correct, you do. It's not a poison. It is a molecule that bonds with your brain happily. But yeah,
Oh, so
and
shrooms.
Scion. Yeah, basically. I said psilocybin.
You did actually.
Um, but Scion in particular, Dour Gathoth is there's a painting of him in your dad's office as a constant reminder of the potential power of one entity, and a constant reminder to kind of keep things in check lest this happen again. So Dargathos he's the real deal. Your father would just listen to him and be like, "Okay, yes, Daddy, whatever you want." Even your wife calls me Daddy.
Even your daddy calls me daddy.
Yeah, exactly. Dargothoth is the in Faerun lore canonically the single most powerful entity until you get into like the Hecaton Kyries and like the Force Dragons and the Prismatic Dragon, which are epic level 68 CR creatures, which means a party of 4 67 or level 68 party members should have a fair fight. So, just as a frame of reference.
All right, let's go die.
No. We'll talk to him once all this is over with. He's not going anywhere.
Well, it saved us a lot of grief if we died before we did everything else.
Oh, not really. Usually, if you piss him off and he kills you, he eats your soul, condemning you to an eternity of oblivion. Again,
Well,
not very popular with the common folk.
I don't find it should be popular with anyone.
Well, like I said, he's retired.
Like, can I use divine sense
For what, good sir?
just to make sure that we're not being, I don't know, ambushed by this undead dragon lich?
Sure, go ahead.
She is the undead
Undead.
dragon.
There are undead that ping within 60 feet of you. There's also celestial and infernal that ping within 60 feet of you. And extraplanar things that ping within 60. There's a lot of things going on.
Oh,
Like,
does
you look
Divine
around
Sense
and there's
let him
like
know?
18, there's like 6 different shades of, what in the fuck am I doing here? Or
What I
no,
mean
sorry,
was meant-
6 different shades of what the fuck are they doing
Honestly,
here?
it kind of sounds like your fucking your Bond hanging out with the 7 deadly sins. Like you're like literally hanging out with, like demons and fucking goddesses. You're just like a human. Like, hey, what's up, guys?
No, he's a dwarf. He's a dwarf orc.
He's
what
a
I mean
dork.
was since
Nope,
I am
DWORK, dwark.
Well, actually, no, ORC.
Correct, dwark.
Work.
what I mean was since like the levels,
Like
how
nothing.
Power levels.
Sure,
Yes,
you
yeah,
said their
power
power
levels,
levels,
yeah.
and they're
Well, that's what I
mostly
do get for
comparable to
making
you.
a 7 deadly sins reference.
It's
Well, what are
nothing
you,
is over
fucking Hawk?
9,000. Nothing is
Yeah,
over 9,000.
Turns out that he's actually just Hawk the whole time. I'm glad that you appreciate that joke, Simmons. You know, fucking Rabbit would be laughing too if he was here. God rest his soul.
Yeah, he's on the Goat Island right now. No, he's not. He's here. He's tripping his balls off from the moon cheese.
Too bad I couldn't wild shape him into a giant goat.
Unfortunate. Also, the monkey is just a permanent fixture for all intents and purposes while you're on the boat. I'm not gonna give it an hour time limit because it's kind of dumb and I like the roleplay. And rule of cool rules here, especially when I deem it cool. So your monkey is also tripping on that cheese.
I mean, you can also just say that the blood thing and the heroic feast power that. I don't know.
That's too complicated.
Let me just say, like, this is one of my favorite sessions regarding roleplay. We've had some great roleplay tonight.
I'm trying to get us back into it, but it feels like we've just gone so far off the rails, no one can get back into it.
No, let's get
Fair
back
enough.
into it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Don't come in my underpants.
So I think the last serious thing that happened was Bryn wanted to make armor.
Actually, no. That was that whole conversation about like the whole like that's the whole reason why we were talking about the fucking big bad scary dragon skeleton man was because I was asking if we all overheard that conversation that Penny was literally having. So then that way we could all be super fucking concerned about it.
What conversation was Penny having?
With Scion, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
not.
Like,
Was it with Scion? I don't remember. It was one of you
if I
bitches.
die, it'd just, be bad for you. Because everyone would be pissed. I mean, they're trying to use my body for things. They're going to be looking for me.
What is it with fictional children and always trauma dumping?
Because we're all traumatized children and we're working through it. That's what D&D is. It's just free fake therapy with numbers.
Everything is just kids having kids. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any. Nor am I one of them. No, Abin, there's nothing more to discern other than he disappeared about 3,000 years ago. Bunch of world got burned, civilization restarted. I mean, kind of a lot of history died there. So, but yeah. Does anyone else have anything for the child?
So, well, my thing is because I wanted a bridge off of like essentially like I wanted. That's why I was asking if we all overheard that because I wanted like the general group concern of like oh, it was Sal. It was Sal talking. Yeah, so people were talking to Sal, and he was like, "Oh, that's my old friend." Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And then
Dargathoth.
yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. So then I'm gonna fucking I'll bring this back in.
Okay.
So you mean to tell me that we have to, Sal, we have to treat with that thing, and you know in which the beast in which I discuss.
Treat is a bit of a strong word, but
Well,
we're old
forgive my manners.
friends. We spent some time together back in his now permanent location, and he told me to come by any time. It's, he's settled down in his old age, just like the rest of us. Now he's more interested in research. And a good cup of tea.
You know, old man, one of these days I'd very much like to pick your brain and have you tell me some more stories because I believe that you're way more powerful than what meets the eye. But then again, and I look down at my hand and my glowing tattoo, I guess you could say the same about myself.
Oh no,
And
I'm only as powerful as the rest of us. I just happen to have lived a storied life.
Sometimes power isn't the power that you wield, but the friendships that you make.
Well, then I'd say we're all pretty powerful.
Hi, Olivia. Love you too.
love you too.
Be safe, Olivia!
Love you most.
Don't be a whore.
Don't be a... Or do.
Put your taters away. It's a funeral.
That was my cousin.
And we're out of roleplay.
You're lucky she's not underage.
Well, then definitely don't be a whore. It would be appropriate.
Yeah, just sound advice, especially for minors. Don't be that terrible, terrible thing. Just don't do it, please. No.
And I have my earbuds in, so she didn't hear anything you just said.
That's probably good.
Man,
We forgot that was a thing.
You want to hear the sound of two men backpedaling? Well, man, there it was.
I mean, honestly,
I'd
I'd probably just say it again if I was prompted. Because fuck, that was funny.
Listen, I got us on the rails. I don't know what else we want to do.
You also got us off the rails.
That's not my fault.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
There's the soundboard. Okay.
So, what's the plan, everybody? Do we just meet death incarnate?
I think we should go to the islands like we planned originally and do what was planned originally.
That was part of my agreement, and I would be obviously not capable of doing anything about it if you changed your minds, but be very much obliged if we did the thing that we set out to do. Otherwise, my father might not take kindly to me coming home early.
Well, I hate to say it, but circumstances have changed, and so has the risk of collateral damage.
Well, honestly, once we got you to Northwich, I planned on heading home anyway. You could take the girls if you'd like. You can shack them up at your place until you come home, or I ended a sentence with a preposition because I don't know where else to take it.
I'll talk with Penny's mother when she wakes up. We'll see what we want to do.
That sounds like an excellent idea, Abin. Abin suggested that since we can't seem to get back on track, we should probably get out of character and discuss some details and just what's been going on and catch up on things. How does that sound?
Like essentially just meta game. Like, hey, so this is what's really going on, and these are just how everything connects as you all know it.
Yes,
That's
because I
about-
think
Yeah,
we're all emotionally
Yeah, please and thank
exhausted.
you.
I was trying to suggest that, like, for instance, I missed a session last week. A couple people missed
mean,
sessions before that.
I
There's
missed
people.
like half this campaign now.
Yeah, people have like bits of knowledge, but I don't think a single one of us like actually know fully what's going on, like in all the details of everything that's been happening.
I'm on sticking my balls in my leg. That's some good details.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you looking for? Where can I start off with? What? The
In
last.
the beginning,
Uh,
in the
Can I
beginning,
make a repair
there
check?
was a thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Make this one with advantage because you've got good materials. You've got Chesty to help. You've got people to help. You're not exhausted. You've got a good rest. Um, so, I mean, there were 4 of you, and then they went north to check out some kobold nest, and they met up with some more characters. Then the kobold nest led to the in Siege of Eldon.
Well, Titus, Syad, Hellback, Garuk.
I think those were the
and,
OG 4. No,
think-
Cade
I
and
think we
Sal
start
showed up
with
shortly
5.
thereafter.
Yeah, they were additions. Even Cade was an addition.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think actually, yeah, I think the whole thing started with Titus joining up with following Almac and Scion and
Garuk and
Lipton. Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. And basically, my whole character would just follow them to make sure that they didn't die because I felt like they were probably going to. And boy, was I right.
Oh yeah. So then after those 4 set out, they met up with Cade and Sal, and I think the next episode they met up with Bryn inside of the Kobold Nest, the very first one.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Cade was watching the ambush on the cart that Bryn's family hired to ship shit.
Yep, they were taking it to Northwich,
Yep.
which was under siege at the time, which no one knew because they got fucking murked. Well, not at the time, they eventually got murked, but yeah, kobolds had worked their way around. And they fucked up
then
Northwich.
in the same place that we ended up finding Bryn, we discovered that that cart belonged to her family, and then that's when we also got 3 dragon eggs after slaughtering a whole bunch of kobolds in their nest.
Mm-hmm. Murdered the shit out of them.
Not just the women,
Oh, excuse
but
me.
the children too.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, they
Yep,
escaped
and-
out the back because they had traps and thunder rings, and then more traps. But yeah,
We made it to Northwich.
New Eldham. Eldham is where we have the house and the one that was under siege.
Well, no, but after the cave, we went to Northwich, and then we did the big fight there.
It was the siege of Eldham.
That was after Northwich,
Correct.
because we met Abin in Northwich.
Was Northwich the place that we burned down because it was abandoned?
Yeah, it was abandoned. Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, then you were completely correct.
To clarify, Northwich was
Where
place
we
that
found
we
Abin.
found Nock,
you guys should be
found
on the
Abin.
big map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Michelle was talking to me for a hot minute, so I couldn't respond.
Hi, Michelle.
She already gone, but I will send you regards.
I'm kidding.
I mean, sometimes. That's why I love her. She's fucking brutal, man. She keeps me on my toes.
Oh man, I'm
Oh, same with
tired.
mine.
But so Northwich got sieged in the background, and then you guys showed up afterwards, and the kobolds had taken it. That's when you fucked all that up.
And burned this village down.
Yep. Nope. Cade burned the village down.
It's all his fault.
Yep, he started it.
Yep. Everybody. That's how everybody remembers it. Definitely Kate's fault. For sure. Wasn't the purple guy.
Nope, definitely not.
Nope.
I thought it really was Cade, so maybe I'm crazy.
So Northwich happened in the background.
Yes.
Well, so technically the Cobalt started the fire, but Titus had the idea of using it to our advantage, and it turned out to be our disadvantage. And then he also face-stepped and made it a lot worse.
Yeah, but you didn't start the fire.
We didn't start the fire.
Exactly.
It was already
Well,
burning.
I
We just made
mean,
it so much worse.
technically, he did because he gave the DM the idea of doing it.
Doesn't matter.
It was God that started the fire.
Guess, guys. Yeah. All right, I'm done. I'm done with the singing. At least that one for now.
Dude. You have a
Yeah,
bard in the party, and I definitely
know.
don't get enough singing time.
I'm pretty sure my soul is bard, and I just spec'd into the wrong I spec'd
Yeah,
into barbarian.
Yeah, I think the roleplay dump we just did has kind of burned us all out, and now we're kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm already been burned out.
Yeah, I also apologize for not being 100% because I've got like 6 hours sleep in the last 3 days because I've been
Let's just call it.
playing.
I mean,
no. We need to do whatever this is.
Yeah, we just need to catch up on details and get everyone on the same page.
And not
And
only
then we
just
can
sum up the
finish up.
campaign, but also how backstories and how everything ties together
Yes,
as of
that-
we know it
Yes.
now.
Okay.
That most importantly.
That
Because,
most
like,
importantly, then that's a good place to start then.
Well, I mean, let's finish with where we are in the campaign, and then
Northwich.
let's just continue our thought. So the fire that we definitely didn't start at Northwich, the siege of then Eldheim, and
And then
giant
you
dragon.
got with the Lenorm.
You guys
then,
are just doing a recap, right? Because I have to
Yeah.
go buy cat food and take care of some stuff now. So you guys
recap
won't need me,
and
right?
linking backstories.
Recap and linking
Metagame.
backstories. Anything else you missed, I can catch you up on, bud.
Okay, then. See you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, so Northwich, we did all that. We fought there. People got their. Oh yeah, wait. People got their special pets, and then we had the Guthral dream.
Yep. Then you had the Guthral dream, which is where you entered. Abin.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and you grappled that Minotaur to death.
You
And
did
then
start the
after
fire
that
time.
Yeah.
Shall
And then
he finished the fire.
And then after that, we all started going back. We tried to find the pier that fell and it wasn't there. Somebody else had taken it. Then we went back to Eldham. We spent time there. Then the siege happened. We won. What? Because Captain Brunor is a beast with his sentinel feet.
Sentinel's good.
And then, fun fact: Cavalier actually has basically the Sentinel feat as like level 6.
Mm.
And then we all like got our house, and then Bruner wanted us to go scout out the Seven Sisters, so we took the boat, and now we are here where we just fought the skeletons.
You blew up 2 ships, or you sunk 2
Mhm.
ships, and you commandeered another one. When you commandeered the one, you found Galeer, the fat, emaciated elf, who is now doing better. He's just hanging out away from everyone. I forgot he existed.
But by the way,
Oh yeah, I can
we
stop
still
the
have
recording.
one. We still have one coffin we haven't opened.